So as Prabhu mentioned, we're coming from the Bhaktivedanta Manor, we are part of the medical department there. And still looking after old and sick cows is still a little bit of a grey area. We might share some of the things that work for us. It will be a very practical presentation of what we do from the moment the cow goes down till the moment, until basically the end of her life. Most of the devotees who are running goshalas will most likely, at one point or another, will have an experience having a down a cow that cannot stand up anymore. There's lots of challenges looking after them. So, and since, as I said, it's a grey area, we wanted to share a few points that seem to work for us. I started working with sick cows. Gangotri was my first patient. I don't know if you know Gangotri, but she was the cow. She fell down in the field and her pelvis broke. So she was the cow that was killed by ISKCON, euthanized by her. So that was my first patient. So then we've got someone in our hospital almost all the time. Okay, let me move the slide.
Hare Krishna. So there's a few reasons the cow may go down. Three average sort of reasons. The main one is old age, usually at the end of life. And sometimes they occasionally slip if you haven't got the proper surfaces stored, just by accident. And sometimes another cow may harm them if they're too close together in proximity. So basically, once they go down, we have to analyse what's happened. Let's say if a cow gets knocked or goes down in the field, we'll actually go out there to what they say, assess the situation, and basically, if it's really bad, we'll have to call the vet. We get the vet for an analysis to check the cow, and if it's actually if she's okay, we'll plan on moving her, getting her over to the hospital. So one of the practical ways to get her to the hospital is this is just a made stretcher from the gate, farm gate. Some people taught us how to do that. There's lots of different ways you can do it, but this is a very good way. And just a farm gate, and you put some plywood on top, and then you've got like a crash mat. If you've got those, put one of those on, and then you put some small mattresses or cushions. And what we do, we actually roll them over onto the stretcher there. It's like you push it up to where they're laying, and just roll them straight over. I'll show you the rolling process in a minute. It's a little bit later on. So before we put them on there, I suppose we would try to encourage them to stand. If they've gone down in the field, you try to get them up. You want them to go straight away. But if all fails and they're out there and the sun's going down, it's getting cold, you want to get them on the stretcher back to the barn. So that's the next stage. Just going
I wanted to still thank you, but thanks to Shyamasundar Prabhu, his arrangement, we are very fortunate. We've got a barn that's actually dedicated to the cows that are sick. So this is our hospital, and I think it's a great privilege. This is our presentation, Radhika. She's been down for about 6 months. Got one more cow, but for some reason or other, she's in another place. But she's not in such a serious state like this cow.
Thanks. So then we've got this crane lift here. I think we're going to mix pictures more closer. Yeah, we've got quite a good system here. the crane lift. So what we do at that point, when we bring them in, we want to try and get them to stand if possible, as long as there's no real severe injuries. We want to try and we put straps around them. We have a strap system where we lift, and we basically like this. There we are. That's Tulsi. There's a way of getting the straps on, but that's a little detail if anyone's got any questions on that. And we lift them up, and then we try and get them to stand for some time. If they do start standing, we start to coach them, try to coach them to walk. Not instantly, but we give them a few hours or maybe a day or two, and we want to get them up and get them back on their feet. So then, yeah, so from there we lift them up and we found this as one of the best systems, using the strap system. There's different systems you can use, but to actually lift them.
I wanted to add, like when the cow has got some broken bones, then you can't do that really. You have to wait until the cow, until the injury heals. This cow, we managed to lift her up like this after 6 months when her broken bone healed, and she started making an attempt to stand up. This is when we were able to lift her up, and as soon as she stood on her back leg, from back and front legs, we left her stand. We tried many other ways of lifting cows. This is the most practical, as was recommended by Bhumikriya, Wenda, maybe you know as Wenda. Every other way was very difficult to put under the abdomen. See, the cows have to be lifted quite a few times a day when they are down, so that they don't lose their muscle tissue. Every other system was causing more injuries in their body, and it was very counterproductive. This strap system is very easy to put under. It was very, very beneficial. But it is very useful only with cows that already have enough strength to stand. Once they are lifted, they cannot hang on it, because these straps also, they cause cuts in between their abdomen and legs.
So yeah, from there, that's, if you put that next picture on, please. There's like the coaching process. She's walking for a while. Tulsi was walking for about 4 months. I would say walking, she could get up and get back on her feet. She was limping around. And unfortunately, eventually she did go back down. So that's when the next stages start. If they do go down, finally, and they don't get up, you have to go into what I call it sort of like a turning regime, where we don't want them to get too, as you would say, too many bed sores. So you need a process where we need a good team of guys and a systematic order of turning. This here is like the setup, turning to set up. Before the turn, we angle the cow's body, and we're just using some straps there, ready to get to put her into the right place to turn her over. So we'll go to the next picture. This is the angling process. And then what we do here to cut down the bed sores is we do a turn, a full 180-degree turn to the other side. It's pretty good way. And we got about four men there on sort of 4 or 5 points. And sometimes the cow, or if it's a big ox, it could be very heavy. So you've got to sort of know what you're doing. And technical.
What do you think it is?
It's just probably smooth it. Was it crash?
I did try to keep it in there.
So if the cow's laying down on its side, or an ox, you need you know, there's a good way to turn them. There's a proper system we use. You don't just grab anything and do anything. It's a proper timing system where if there's 5, say if you have got a heavy ox or a very heavy cow, you want a good 5 men, like 2 on the back legs, one on the heavy leg at the front, lower, and one on the upper front leg, and one on the head. Now, at this point, she's rolled over. Poor Radhika, she has some bed sores. She had a lot of turning, and she's just got some wounds there. This is how it goes sometimes, but she's still got lots of life in her. She wants to carry on. We're doing our best to look after her. And as we're turning her over, we don't just drop her down. We do it slow in the process. There's a way to her landing, and she lands on some nice. She got some nice bean bags under there and some nice mattresses. So it also stops her from the wounds developing more, so it's a softer surface. Then when they land, this is a sitting up process that we use, and we're going to use it using the strap here to the machine. If you haven't got the machine, which most places haven't, you can use a manual way where you'll push her back, shoulder blade area, and it's good if sometimes someone pulls their head as well. One person pulling the head, 2 people pushing the back, so she sits up. But this machine's great. We just tie one bit to the wall there, so that she's there as a pulley, and the machine is the chain is pulling upwards, so it makes her rise up. It's a very nice mechanical process. So she starts to rise using the machine, and we've got these bales, these average small bales that we've put together, and straw bales, yeah, and it's some very nice what do you call it? Helpers, just volunteers. They put some casing around them so they can last, and we push them against her back to have a support. And it's good to sit them back up. They get a chance to drink their water, and obviously you can start feeding them again. It's not doing a massage.
Give them support, also to give them support, because when the cows stay on their side, there's a big chance they can blow and suffocate. So that's life-saving.
Yeah, you don't want to lay them down on their side, because for too long they can blow up. Now, when we start doing a bit of massage, just to relieve pain and get the blood flowing, of course. Important the veils, wound management. That's one we want to do, isn't it?
One of the main issues when the cows go down is that if you don't manage to stand them up within 2 or 3 days or a week, there's a very little chance they will stand up again. And as soon as they go down, just like with humans, they start developing back sores. So we do everything we can trying to avoid that. So that turning, which is we do it at least 3 times a day, but ideally 5 times a day, morning, noon, evening. Is, imagine you're lying on one side for too long, so you have to move your body a little bit. So we try to give him some relief like that. It requires a lot of help from helpers. But anyhow, I'll speak about it later. Another thing what we do is, of course, massage. It's massage and massage is massage. You have to encourage the blood flow so that you prevent the bed sores from manifesting. Because unfortunately with Radhika, she went down 6 months ago. She did develop some bed sores. She's quite a heavy cow, so that was a great contributor. You can see so many bandages on her body. She's covered in them. We're using whatever we can. This is kind of our basic kit, but we use many other things. Ganji tissue is our daily friend. It gives like a soft padding and covers the wounds from getting infected. We do like to use honey. Honey is a great antibiotic for larger wounds. We've got great results. We are using also our homemade honey from our gummy tissue. I've tried everything to try to, apply, keep the bandages on, but gummy tissue is the only thing that works. I know it sounds a bit funny, but unfortunately we have to use these industrial tapes. Yeah, colloidal silver, anything, basically anything that works. We spoke to Bhaktivedanta Swami about this topic of looking after the cows, and he did encourage us to try to use, more natural methods, which I like, agrimony tea, colloidal silver, honey. We try to use Ayurveda also a lot. Yeah. Unfortunately, after some time, the wounds cannot be prevented completely, but we do try to at least relieve them from pain and suffering. Try to make the lamp as comfortable as possible. This is a heat lamp. That's a infrared light. That's also, it's just one idea. If you ever have this problem, it helps to increase the blood flow too, and helps to heal the wounds. But yeah, they use it in human medicine too. My husband already mentioned soft bedding. If you just put straw, that's not soft enough. It will hurt. It can make the wounds worse. So our kind helpers, they made very nice soft mattresses and bean bags. They are great help. Our cows, down cows, always make sure that they lay on them. And volunteers are very much dependent on the help of volunteers. We have wonderful, stable helpers. Still, it's not enough. That's always an issue. Helpers. Today, I just got a few messages that we had 3 wonderful people who came to do some extra massage. So it's always very much welcome. But to find a stable team, that's a challenge. That is a challenge. It's not. It's a painful. The painful end of life is usually connected, old age is connected with pain and suffering, and it's not everyone has the ability to deal with that. So it's difficult. But we are eternally grateful for these wonderful souls. The lady on the right, she's our hero. Manor. This is my son. Doing some massage. Until recently, but we were allowed to have some children also, but right now, unfortunately, because of health and safety reasons at the Manor, just in a free way, we're not allowed to have children there. But hopefully, at least in some allocated time, we'll do in the future. Because these downer cows, they become so soft and dependent, and I find that it's very, very nice for children to come and do some service for them, and it's so helpful for the house too. Thank you very much. If you have anyone who's got some experience, who would like to learn from you also, anything that you would like to recommend, please do ask.
Hare Krishna.
I wanted to mention that we are a little bit spoiled at the Manor. This is an expensive business looking after sick house. It's not cheap. And I have to say that Bhaktivedanta Manor always provided us with everything we need to look after the house. Thank you very much. Thank you, Prabhu. You are always supplying us with unlimited